Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Pacific, Lieutenant General James F. Glynn, welcome to the change of command ceremony, where Lieutenant General Roger B. Turner will relinquish command to Lieutenant General Benjamin T. Watson. Today's ceremony is being executed by the Marines and sailors of the III Marine Expeditionary Force.
司令官に代わりまして第3海兵機動展開部隊の司令官交代式にご出席いただき誠にありがとうございます。本日の式典は第3海兵機動展開部隊の海兵隊員および海軍兵により執り行われます。
At this time, we would like to recognize our distinguished guests.
本日ご出席いただきました騎士の皆様をご紹介いたします。
The Honorable George Glass, United States Ambassador to Japan. His Excellency Kiya Masahiko, Ambassador in charge of Okinawan Affairs, Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Ms. Kiya. Vice Governor Miyagi Tsukuyoshi, Okinawa Prefectural Government, representing Governor. Director General Murray Matsuda, Okinawa Defense Bureau. General Araki Masayoshi, Chief of Staff, Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, JSDF. Vice Admiral Omichi Katsushi, Commander Self-Defense Fleet, JMSDF. Lieutenant General Oeno Kazushi, Chief of Staff, Ground Component Command, JGSDF. Lieutenant General Tsurumi Seishi, Commanding General, Western Army, JGSDF. Lieutenant General Terasaki Tawakiyu, Commander, Southwestern Air Defense Force, JSDF. Lieutenant General Tasaki Takiura, Commander, Western Air Defense Force, JSDF. Vice Admiral Fukuda Tatsuka, Commander, Sasebo District, JNSDF. Lieutenant General Keita Shigo, Commanding General, Training Evaluation, Education, Research, and Development Command, JGSDF. Lieutenant General Shirakawa Norimichi, Commanding General, 8th Division, JGSDF. Lieutenant General Romo Roldan, Vice Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Lieutenant General Matthew McFarland, Commanding General, High Corps. Vice Admiral Patrick Hanifin, Commander, U.S. 7th Fleet. Major General Izumi Hibio, Commanding General, 15th Brigade, JGSDF. Major General Shimura Toyohito, Commander, 9th Air Wing, JASDF. Major General Sugitani Kose, Commander, Southwestern Aircraft Control and Warning Wing, JASDF. Rear Admiral Hamano Hirni, Commander, Fleet Air Wing 5, JMSDF. Rear Admiral Mishima Shugi, Commander, Nagasaki Coast Guard, JNSA. Major General Valerie Jackson, Commander, Marine Corps Forces Korea, and spouse, Chris. Major General Simon Duran, Commanding General, 1st Marine Aircraft Wing, and spouse, Christine. Major General Derek Lipson, Commanding General, Special Operations Joint Task Force. Brigadier General Kim Keon, Deputy Commandant, Republic of Korea, Marine Corps. Brigadier General Bob Apostol, Commander, Philippine Marine Corps, 4th Marine Brigade. Brigadier General Ralph Rizzo, Commanding General, Marine Corps Installation Pacific. Rear Admiral Brian Muddy, Commander, Expeditionary Strike Group 7, and spouse, Kimberly. Brigadier General Kelvin Gallman, Deputy Commander, U.S. Forces Japan, and spouse, Gianna. Brigadier General John Gallimore, Commander, 18th Wing, and spouse, Kate. Brigadier General Ryan Hodo, Deputy Commanding General, III Marine Expeditionary Force, and spouse, Aylin. Consulate General Andrew Oak, U.S. Consulate General, Naha. Ms. Dawn Ellison, spouse of Major General Kyle Ellison, Commanding General, 3rd Marine Division. And Mrs. Shelley Harr, spouse of Brigadier General Christopher Harr, Commanding General, 3rd Marine Logistics Group. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation delivered by Captain Robert Peters, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy.
海軍従軍牧師ロバート・ピータース大佐にお祈りをしています。ご起立ください。
Let us pray. Lord God, creator of all that was, is, and is to come, we thank you for this created moment in time, one of great gladness, yet seasoned with a hint of sadness. Gladness that III Marine Expeditionary Force has been under the incredible leadership of Lieutenant General Roger B. Turner. Gladness that alongside allied partners and joint forces, he has leveraged III MEF's deterrence and diplomacy with a ready-to-fight-now spirit to defeat our nation's foes and protect our nation's interests. Gladness that his lovingly gracious bride Carol and their children Max and Alan have been instrumental in who he is and what he has accomplished. But God, there is a bit of sadness. Today, Lieutenant General Turner will relinquish command of his favorite MEF and shortly assume command of Marine Forces Pacific, the largest U.S. Marine Field Command consisting of both his favorite III MEF and another MEF. Please bless Lieutenant General Turner and his family with all they need to flourish in their new roles, and give him the ability to make the other MEF feel valued too, especially since we all know III MEF is his favorite of the two. Now, God, we thank you for the gladness associated with Lieutenant General Benjamin T. Watson's assumption of command of III Marine Expeditionary Force. We thank you that he will leverage his always learning, always leading mindset to our mission success. We thank you for the support of Emily, his wife, and their pup, Charlie, his sons, Captain Joshua Watson, Nicholas Watson, and his bride, Tian Carvalho. God, as the commanding general of III MEF, grant him wisdom, strength, and endurance to excel in all that is honorable and right. Now, God, bless the allies and partners of III MEF today. Bless our adversaries to know it's better to wait, live, and fight another day. And God, bless today's ceremony and every participant here and online, we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
皆様ご着席ください。
Force! Onto! Harry. Colors. Ready. Cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Okinawa and the Star Spangled Banner, and remain standing for honors to Lieutenant General Glenn and Lieutenant General Turner.
皆様ご起立お願いいたします。キーガイおよびアメリカ合衆国国歌、正常期の演奏を行います。また演奏終了後もグリーン中将およびターナー中将への敬意礼までご起立のままでお待ちください。
Freeze!
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Pacific, Lieutenant General James S. Flynn.
Present!
Ladies and gentlemen, honors to Lieutenant General Flynn. Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the Commanding General, III Marine Expeditionary Force, Lieutenant General Roger B. Turner.
Present!
Ladies and gentlemen, honors to Lieutenant General Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
皆様ご着席ください。
Honor!
Now taking his position in the reviewing area next to Lieutenant General Turner is Lieutenant General Benjamin T. Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the ceremony's most solemn moment, the actual passing of command. The battle colors of a Marine Corps unit symbolize the authority and accountability of command. Transferring the colors during the ceremony symbolizes the relinquishment of command by Lieutenant General Turner, and by accepting the colors, Lieutenant General Watson accepts command and confirms his total commitment to the Marines and sailors that he will command. Sergeant Major Adams is delivering the colors to the Commanding General.
Sergeant Major, deliver the colors to the Commanding General!
これより本式において最も厳粛な瞬間である式典交代の儀式を執り行います。部隊旗を引き継ぐことは単なる中将の式典の返上を意味し、ワトソン中将が受領することは式典の継承ならびに海兵隊員や海軍兵に対する献身と権威を示すことであります。アダム再生人上級総長より司令官へ部隊旗が手渡されます。
Present!
From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Lieutenant General Roger B. Turner, effective 15 July 2026, you will relinquish your duties as a Commanding General, III Marine Expeditionary Force, and report to U.S. Marine Corps Forces Pacific, where you will assume your duties as the Commander. Signed, Eric N. Smith, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Lieutenant General Benjamin T. Watson, effective 15 July 2026, will you assume your duties as a Commanding General, III Marine Expeditionary Force, signed, Eric N. Smith, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Honor!
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the Commanding General, III Marine Expeditionary Force, Lieutenant General Benjamin T. Watson.
Present!
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to Lieutenant General Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
皆様ご到着ください。
Order. Color. Ready. Sweep. Ready. Cut. Barry! Breath!
A message from the Commodore of the Marine Corps. Lieutenant General Turner. Roger, congratulations on a job well done. The accomplishments of III Marine Expeditionary Force during your tenure are a direct reflection of your outstanding leadership. You expertly operationalized III MEF regional partnerships, significantly increasing our posture and the first island chain while simultaneously strengthening vital relationships with Japan, the Republic of Korea, and the Philippines. Leading the development of the services Fight Now posture, you masterfully set the theater, vacant sustainment, rehearsed key concepts, and integrated capabilities to enhance the survivability and lethality of the MEF. Your decisive leadership guided III MEF's response to 8 critical humanitarian assistance and disaster response missions, delivering life-saving support to tens of thousands of impacted civilians across the region. The Marine Corps is grateful to you and Carol for your leadership, as well as everything you do for our Marines, sailors, and their families. We wish you the very best as you move on to Marine Corps Forces Pacific. Lieutenant General Watson, Ben, as you take over as a commanding general at III Marine Expeditionary Force, know that you have my total trust and confidence. I know you'll bring the same outstanding leadership to III MEF that you've demonstrated throughout your career. Congratulations and best wishes to you and Emily as you take responsibility for the daily operations of III MEF. Semper Fidelis, Eric N. Smith, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Glenn.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Force! Untitled! At ease! There we go. Make sure they're better shape than what we're all sitting here, right? First of all, thanks. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, konnichiwa, and with a little spirit of Hawaii aloha to everyone. Thank you. Thank you for gathering here. Obviously, a huge moment. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but I want to publicly say thanks to all the folks that helped bring this together. You know, the base access, I hope, is smooth. The seating, obviously, is well organized. To Sergeant Major Adams and the team, to the band, to the Chief of Staff, who gets to be the Commander of Troops, a job every Chief of Staff aspires to attain during their tenure. I spent a lot of time memorizing all of the guests, so if you'll bear with me, I'd like to go through each and every one of your names, and if you'd stand when I call you, no, I'm kidding. I knew that they were going to do that, and if you'll indulge me, particularly to the very most senior leaders, our government officials, ambassadors, and governors, vice governors, if you'll allow me to forego that, I would greatly, I think everybody here would appreciate that one. I certainly would, because I couldn't remember everyone's name. But it is a fitting tribute to this organization and to our relationship as two allies, two countries that come together, and I'll talk about that some too. But just really excited for Sergeant Major Kitashima and I in Marine Forces Pacific, representing more than 75,000 Marines. As the chaplain said, this MEF and the other one that's probably online listening to this right now, so you're not going to get away free. But thanks to everyone for being part of this. As part of the U.S. Joint Force, certainly the Marine Corps is one piece of it, and we're honored by everyone's presence here today. These two and I go back the better part of more than 3 decades. I won't age the two of them. I'm obviously younger than both of them. I won't age them, but our relationship goes back more than 3 decades. So the hardest part of this morning for me is communicating to you what this is, what this entire ceremony is, and the significance of it, because on a personal level, for me, it's watching two friends move responsibility for a massive unit with an immense amount of capability amongst one another, and it's a heartwarming moment for me. that you can see coming for more than 3 decades. But for the rest of us, we were raised by a mentor that always taught us the significance of history. And so for this unit, III Marine Expeditionary Force, as I look back in preparation for this, dating back to 1942, the first Marine Amphibious Corps was created in California. And here we come years later, actually created before it, Simple Duran, on this week in 1941 was the first Marine Airborne. Right, part of a Marine Air Ground Task Force, actually formed a year before the first Marine Amphibious Corps. And then we gathered today with these representatives of the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force before us and talk a bit about what they've accomplished over the course of the last 2.5 years when under General Turner's leadership. What is this? It's always been striking. Every service, every nation has a form of what you just witnessed. But in that simple transfer of the organizational colors, when the Sergeant Major handed them to General Turner and they exchange it, the authority, the responsibility, and everything that goes along with it moved. I saw General Turner get about 12 pounds lighter than I remember last time I had to carry him in a PT test. I saw the weight of the responsibility come off during that thing. That simple act, whether it occurs, Finn knows, whether it occurs on the deck of a ship or it occurs in front of a crowd like this, is the transfer of that responsibility. And that responsibility here in Japan, that responsibility with an ally comes with an immense amount of relationships, partnerships, friendships that go back years. I first stepped foot on Okinawa 36 years ago in a unit deployment program that trained with another unit that became relationships that went on for a better part of more than 3 decades. And seated in this room are the caretakers of those relationships. And that's why this is such a significant moment and significant day. And again, we're just really thrilled that everyone has been able to make it. For the last 2.5 years, in January 24, which doesn't seem like that long ago, right? If you're the 3 of us, it doesn't seem like that long ago. But in January 2024, a ceremony strikingly similar to this occurred when Roger and Carol Turner arrived and took responsibility here. And at that time, I went back and looked. Don't quote me on this, but words to the effect that our collective ability, right? The U.S. Joint Force, the U.S. Marine Corps' ability, and us, Japan and the United States' ability to remain agile, to remain ready, to respond to whatever the future may bring, was going to be General Turner's focus in maintaining the readiness, the preparation, the capability of 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force. And as the Commandant's letter, now I don't have to go back through all that stuff either, as the Commandant's letter just highlighted, there are countless examples. If I started to go down a list that ran from 2024 to today, we would be here a while, so I won't. But there are countless examples of exercises, of operations, of activities that involve more than Japan and the United States, more than the Western Army and 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, but involve, as I look around the room, and you heard announced, involves the Philippines, Japanese ground self-force deployment to Balikatan earlier this year, architected by gentlemen in the front row here, that occurred in the Philippines earlier this year, and exercises that Songyang in Korea, as was announced earlier in Korea, Talisman Sabre in Australia. There are Resolute Dragon, just concluded here, and was concurrent with Commandant that was occurring in the Philippines. All things that, if you don't live in the planning of them, may seem like what occurs year over year, but in fact are not. All of these things have been done with intentionality. All of these things have been done with purpose. And those purposes were to ensure that there was a level of readiness, to ensure that there was a level of interoperability, to maintain the relationships that ensured that we, the collective we, in this case Japan and the United States, would be most ready when the rest of the region may find itself least ready. Because unfortunately we find ourselves at a time, an era of increasing strategic complexity. a time of increasing strategic instability, uncertainty. And what that demands of our nation's forces collectively is a level of readiness that ensures that we're prepared on the days when others are not. And the folks sitting, around this room, not just in the front rows, whether you're in uniform or you're one of the civilian leaders that provide the guidance that allows us to produce that readiness, that has been the focus under Roger Turner's tenure, and it shows in so many ways. I'm looking at the nodding heads around the room. If you've known Roger for 36 years like I have, which, maybe other than Carol, can anybody else claim a longer relationship with Roger Turner? I can't beat you, Carol, but I don't even try. That is the hallmark of Roger's leadership. That is, like, there are certain inalienable attributes that are not going to be strayed from in any organization. And the physical readiness, the preparation of the force and the families, the using exercises as rehearsals for whatever uncertainty the future may hold, be they humanitarian assistance missions or rehearsals for future crises that may come. Those have been the hallmarks for years. And so, for me, having the good fortune at Marine Forces Pacific to have a longtime friend in command of one of these two MEFs, there was never a question of whether or not the force was going to be ready. Which allowed him to focus on the reason why most of these folks are in the room. Right? Cultivated beyond the physical, tangible aspects of readiness that are represented here are the intangibles of trust. The intangibles of relationships that go beyond uniforms, that go beyond exercises, that go beyond all the things that come with this lifestyle, and are founded in the communities, right? That are many folks in the front rows here that come from the community and all the investments that have been made in these relationships. And so, for these last 2.5 years, the 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force has been the beneficiary of that leadership, that example, that inspiration, and that vision. And I certainly, on behalf of Sergeant Major Kitashima and I, to the two of you, and on behalf of all these Marines that are 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, I'm very grateful for all of that leadership. It is, you and I have run side by side for so long, and now to be able to lock arms and do it together has been one of my career's great joys. And so just super grateful for all of that. As fate has it, right, you get two gentlemen here that if some of you are uncertain about what you're inheriting with Ben Watson, take a deep breath and relax. I'm going to describe that here in just a moment. Sometimes our systems create opportunities for people that align. And if you go all the way back to their days as captains, we only choose the best examples to put in front of young students at our basic school where we teach all of our officers how to be good officers. We use them, when they've proven themselves in that crucible, we send them, in this case, to the infantry officer course to also be instructors. If you fast forward many, many years to their brigadier general time, when we were doing combat operations in Afghanistan, there was an organization called Task Force Southwest. As fate has it, both of them commanded it at one point, in succession to the other, near succession to the other. And then, in a previous command opportunity, an organization known as the 1st Marine Division, Blue Diamond. From 2020 to 2022, Roger commanded that. And then in a ceremony like the one we just saw here, from 2022 to 2024, Lieutenant General Ben Watson commanded that organization. So for those of you that are concerned, they've done this before. It worked out really well last time, I assure you, if you're not familiar with the history of it. And I stand before you very self-assured that things are going to be just fine. That the baton was just passed. The pace that Roger runs is rather quick. Even though he's at Clydesdale, he still runs a pretty quick pace. And Ben took it at pace with the intent to go even faster, which is critical at a time as the time that we find all of ourselves in right now. And so, Ben, to you and Emily, welcome. Welcome to a team that you know the standard. You've done this before. Roger and Carol have set a standard of investment in people, in families, in the community, in the relationships that can be daunting. It's hugely impressive, it can be daunting, but if anybody's up for it, I mean, obviously I've known you and Emily for a long time as well, and I look at both of you with, again, complete assurance that things are going to be really, really good. Mr. Ambassador, rest easy. Ben comes to us, I mentioned the Blue Diamond 1st Marine Division. For the 2 years before that, he commanded the Marine Corps Warfighting Lab. Some folks in this room have done that as well. And for the 2 years after that, he commanded the Training and Education Command. And so what that means to me is few folks have an opportunity to put their own stamp, personal investment in the future of the force which they're going to command. And now it's a broader touch than that, as you and I know. It touches a much bigger swath of the Marine Corps than just 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force. But you now have the good fortune to stand before these representative Marines having made the investment in their physical capabilities and in the unit's capabilities that Roger has materialized over the course of the last 2.5 years. And those of you that aren't familiar with the Marine Corps force design, when you look out now and you read some of the stories in the press about the Marine Corps' Marine Littoral formations, the Marine Littoral Regiment, and that operated in the Philippines and has operated in Japan, Southwest Islands recently with the Western Army during Resolute Dragon. Those capabilities are what I consider asymmetric capabilities. What do I mean? There are sensing capabilities, there are maneuver capabilities, there are all domain capabilities, things like cyber and space and littoral movement that were ideas 4 years ago that are realities now in 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force. And when I say asymmetric, I mean that our adversaries throughout the region did not plan for the kind of capabilities that the United States Marine Corps, 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, and certainly our allies in the region, Japan, the Philippines, Korea, like we are like-minded in our approach. And our intent is to achieve exactly what has been achieved for the last 2.5 years. To ensure that on our weakest day, we remain stronger than anybody who chooses to challenge us. And that is exactly what you have done for 2.5 years. And you'll have the opportunity to do it from the other end here shortly. I have it on good authority, your calendar is filling up quickly. You haven't picked up on that. He's coming to take my job. I'm making sure that all the things I don't want to do are going on that calendar. So, on behalf of the Commandant, and on behalf of all the Marines in Marfort PAC, I want to say congratulations to Roger and Carol. I want to welcome Ben and Emily, specifically to Carol and Emily, and the families of III MEF. The spouses of commanders are ambassadors in their own way, emissaries, right? That they carry the mantle of the families, and in this case, carry the mantle of a family into a land that it becomes home, but it's not home when you arrive. And so, Carol, for all that you have invested in this community, the larger community, the family community, the Okinawan community, thank you. There is no price that we can put on that, and certainly from Denise and I, gratitude, appreciation, I mean, words can attempt to express what that means to the crowd gathered here, but some of them spoke to me about it as we got ready for the ceremony. And Emily, as a Waller Hill compatriot, I know that you know exactly what that means, and that I know from last night's dinner that has already begun. That the transition of those relationships, that it is so valued by us, the United States Marine Corps, by 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, and specifically here in Japan and here in Okinawa. It is so valued by us that this place is not just where you serve. It does become your home. And these relationships are more than professional, they're personal, which is what I know makes it hard to leave, but also exciting to join the team. And so on behalf of all the families in Marfort PAC, thanks to both of you. Thank you for what you've done. Thanks for what you will do. And to all the Marines families out there in 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, from Sergeant Major Kitashima and I, thanks for what you're doing out here. To all you Marines, carry it home, please. Thanks for what you're doing out here and how you're doing it. We know it takes a lot to take kids that are somewhere in a school time frame and move them out here into an unfamiliar land and learn a different language and learn a different culture. But I also know from neighbors that came from here not less than a year ago, it remains one of the most prized possessions they have once they leave, are the relationships and the experience that they had here. So once again, on behalf of all of us at Marine Forces Pacific, certainly to the two of you, congratulations, congratulations. It is now my privilege to introduce the former commander of 3rd Marine Expeditionary Force, my good friend, Brother Turner.
So that's a really hard act to follow. And Jim, thanks for those kind words, and for you and the Sergeant Major and some of the rest of the Marine Pack team to come all the way out is really impactful. And I would just offer that there was never a time over the course of our whole 36 years that I left a conversation without having my perspective changed and improved. And so it has been really phenomenal. So thanks for making the trip, and Sergeant Major Kitashima, thanks for your, she was with me here for the first year and a half or so, and I look forward to working with you in the next capacity. I would like just to turn quickly again to the team here, and as General Glenn already highlighted, but the band, the representative formation that we have here, the Butler Oak Club, the protocol team, Sergeant Major Adams, which I don't know where he went. Where'd he go? There he is over there. Just incredible. And I would just extend more on the Sergeant Major is not only is this ceremony kind of indicative of what he does, but he does it every single day as the Force Level Sergeant Major, just injecting incredible energy into the formation. Incredible leadership, incredible adherence to standards, and at the same time, he provides me a grounding rod that keeps me grounded to the deck plate of the formation in big ways and small. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask for a round of applause for this incredible team. So, when I got here in January 24, and we were wrestling with all the challenges that General Glenn just highlighted, my recurring nightmare was that we would finish at whatever point we were going to finish. I didn't know it was going to be July of 2026, but that we would finish and we would be exactly where we started. And my staff and my team has probably heard this like 600 times, right? My recurring nightmare is we wouldn't make any progress. And so, that was really the driving force behind, what we tried to do here. And the reason that we achieved this great progress was because of all of you. All of the people that are here and the collective energy that came together and what was developed here was because of all of you. And so I do want to highlight a few people that had a hand in that. And as General Glenn said, we already kind of announced this incredible group that is here, but I do want to call out some. And Mr. Ambassador, sir, starting with you, just incredible leadership in the U.S.-Japan Alliance. The U.S.-Japan Alliance is in a stronger place right now than I believe that it's ever been in our history. And a lot of that is due to your leadership, and I think the Alliance has incredible purpose, incredible necessity, especially in these challenging times. I also remember when you and Mary, right after the ambassador assumed the post, the very first trip he took was to come to Okinawa. And I think that sent a powerful message to all of us and all of the local community as well. That the U.S.-Japan Alliance is big and powerful, but the people and the local community really matter. And I think that that was a powerful message, sir. So thank you for doing that and everything you've done since to lead and support us. It's really been incredible. So thank you. As General Glenn mentioned, you know, it really starts with the MEF itself and the fact that it's a Marine Air Ground Task Force, and it is powerful in and of itself. But what really makes it powerful is its connection to the Joint Force, the U.S. Joint Force, firstly. And so I do have a few of my Joint Force colleagues that I want to recognize here. So starting with Admiral Hannafin, so Commander 7th Fleet here. It's been incredible. So thank you for your amazing leadership, your amazing vision, your amazing partnership. It's been incredible. Yourself and Admiral Buddy as well at CTF 76. The Navy Marine Corps team together is a powerful tool. And so thank you for what you've done. And then my good friend Matt McFarland here as well from U.S. Army First Corps. The U.S. Army First Corps is a powerful force. Matt, you've been an incredible partner. All those things the U.S. Army is doing with the Multi-Domain Command Pacific, Multi-Domain Command Japan, the Multi-Domain Task Forces, every single time we work together, we get better. And it's never an either or, it's always yes and. And so I really appreciate your partnership, as well as all the other things that the U.S. Army is doing here with my good friend Colonel Hahn that's here as well. It's amazing, Matt. So thank you for what you do. Also, I think the relationship we have with the Special Operations Forces is really powerful. So we have Derek Lipscomb here over the last 2.5 years, where we have gone on special operations, and it has been incredible. And so we have been churning away, making headway, and we're really impressed with what we're going to be able to do going forward with your incredible energy and leadership, Derek. So thank you for being here today. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize our amazing relationship with the United States Forces Japan. General Joe's going to be here, but he is aptly represented by KG Gallman here. So KG, thanks for what you're doing up in Yokota and up in Tokyo. It's a powerful team, and we appreciate all the support that you give us. I think next is our phenomenal relationship with the U.S. Air Force and the 5th Air Force, and represented here in Okinawa by Nuke Gallman here and Kate. So you guys have just been fantastic. The relationship, you know, the 18th Wing and the MEF are the two most populous organizations here on Okinawa, and your partnership has been incredible, Nuke. So thanks for you, and thanks for Kate as well. And this really isn't a joint force partner, but Val Jackson's here for Marine Forces Korea. We do a lot in Korea. We have a significant effort up there, and almost everything we do is laundered through Marine Forces Korea. And so thanks for being here today, and all you've done in bringing Chris down with you as well. So I think next I would just like to turn to our incredible Japanese partners, starting with my good friend General Ryan. And it's you know, sir, it's been incredible. Thank you for coming today. We've had a long history together with your leadership at the Western Army prior to taking over as the Chief of Staff. This relationship has been really incredible, and so we thank you and the team. Also to my good friend General Toriumi that's here, and General Toriumi just suffered a terrible loss in his family and still showed up today. So General Toriumi, thank you for being here. Thank you for the incredible work, and the authenticity of our efforts together have been really incredible. Then I'm sorry, General from the GCC. Your name escaped me. I'm sorry, but General Ueno. So people don't know, General Ueno used to be the 15th Brigade Commander here. And then he moved up to the Ground Component Command, and the relationship we have there is phenomenal. And on behalf of your leadership and General Kobayashi's leadership, where we have gone on this, like aligning this to the one theater alignment, the alignment of our activities in time and space, along with U.S. forces, Japanese forces, and other partners and allies, incredibly, incredibly powerful. So, General Wendo, thank you for being here today. So it's really incredible. I also just like to recognize Admiral Amachi for being here from the Self-Defense Fleet, and Admiral Fuka. Thank you, incredible partners, along with Admiral Hannafin. What we do together, not only with the U.S. Navy, but with the Japanese Navy, is incredible. So thank you for being here, sir. Everything that we've done together has really been phenomenal. To my air self-defense colleagues, General Terasaki and General Taka, thank you for being here. So we've worked together really hard. General Terasaki has been here the whole time that I've been here. He's been my incredible partner. We've worked hard on establishing kind of the bilateral air and missile defense of the Southwest Japan. These two teammates are integral with that, as well as General Gallimore and General Durant with First Mall, and that is incredible work that you all have done. So thank you for being here today. And there's many others, but I won't go there. I think III MEF's influence extends well beyond just Japan. So we're so happy to have General Roden here today from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, sir. Thank you for hosting our formations there. Thank you for the incredible work that we're doing with the Philippines. Really profound success over the last couple of years, some of it highlighted by General Glenn. But thank you and General Aposto for being here today and your incredible partnership as well. To my good friend General Kim, who's the Assistant Commandant of the ROC Marine Corps, there's probably no other service in the world that we have a more profound relationship than the ROC Marines. And it has been incredible. We've spent a lot of time together on exercise and in training up on the Korean Peninsula. You all are incredible hosts and incredible partners, incredible allies. So thank you for what you've done, sir. Thank you so much. I would just next like to turn a little bit to the local team, and for the Vice Governor, sir, Vice Governor Miyagi, sir, thank you for being here today. You're an incredible partner. Everything that we do, we talk about the broad strokes of the alliance and then the military aspects of it, but it all terminates here with our relationship with the people of Okinawa, and our relationship with the government and the integration that we have and the cooperation we have is really important to us. So thank you for that, and please pass my regards on to Governor Tamaki as well. So thank you for being here today. To my good friend and great colleague, Ambassador Kia, thank you, and Yayoi, thank you for being here today. You guys have been incredible, and the support that you give us and the integration you give us in the local community is really powerful. So thank you for that. I'd also like to mention Andrew O. Where's Andrew? There he is. And Andrew O. is from the Consul General from the U.S. State Department, representing Ambassador Glass here. But it just phenomenal work, Andrew, and the connection you bring to the local community has been really fantastic. So thank you for what you do. And then last but certainly not least, DG Marai, sir, thank you for everything the Okinawa Defense Bureau does, supporting the entire Joint Force and supporting us in all things big and small here in Okinawa. So thank you for your really amazing work over this last year or so that you've been here. So sir, thank you very much. I would just, next, as General Glenn mentioned, the families of this group, there's a number of special organizations that are here in Okinawa that are really special. And I'm really talking about the OIWC and the AWWA, the food pantries, the various philanthropy groups that take place here just do incredible work. And there's many people here that are represented this. I know that Carol found so much joy and so much purpose with these groups, and it's really powerful. Many of these groups date back to the immediate aftermath of World War II and establishing connections between the U.S. military spouses that were stationed here and the Okinawan community. And those organizations still are thriving and still do incredibly impactful work in the community. And so thank you all for being here. General Glenn already mentioned the families, but this team has been incredible. So I think to my team and all of the spouses that make all this work for us, and I think I would describe the spouses as, dealing with all of the challenges, 8,000 or 9,000 miles away from your broader support network. And then not only making it work, but thriving. And so it's really incredible. So if I could, just for all the spouses that make everything work every single day and support us so greatly, if I could just give a round of applause for that too. I have, we're live streaming this on Facebook, and so we have a broader community and support network and family that are watching back at home, and that is a really important team to Carol and I, and we simply could not do what we do and the commitment that we have done here without that network. So for all the folks that are watching on Facebook Live, thank you, we love you, and I guess we'll see you all tomorrow night. So just not too long ago. And then to my not so secret weapon, Carol. All the stuff that Jim said and so much more. Just an amazing ambassador and just a zealous advocate for military families. Enthusiastic supporter of the community. Phenomenal. Just an incredible wife, an incredible mother, an incredible partner. So, yeah. Thank you for this, everything that we've done together in this incredible journey. All right. Got through that part. All right. I think I don't need to say a lot more than what General Glenn said about General Watson, but if we were ever going to purpose build somebody for this command, he would be the one. And I've known this officer for a long time, and just one of the most intellectually curious, best leaders. He was the one that we all sought to emulate. And as he said, as General Glenn said, we've done this now a couple of times, and so he's taken over commands from me before. So I think for the team, right, he's already got the playbook, right? He knows all the stuff that I don't do well. He knows where all the skeletons are in the closet. So probably 25 minutes from now, he's going to issue guidance to fix all of the stuff that I didn't do well here. But Ben, it's been incredible, and I know you guys are going to do amazing here. So Emily, it's so good, and we've had such a good time during the turnover and the like. There's no doubt that you're going to thrive in this command in every single way. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, this has been an incredible honor. We have loved every minute of this, and we thank you for all the support, and then not letting my recurring nightmare occur, right? That we did not finish where we started. And that is thanks to you all and this incredible team behind me. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and Semper Fidelis.
Ohio gozaimasu. Good morning.
Wow. I don't think I could say it better, like most things, than Roger Turner, and just simply, what an honor. What an incredible honor to have the opportunity to command III MEF, to live here in Okinawa, be part of the community here in Japan. Thank you for the opportunity. I want to reassure the Marines up here that, as is befitting the new guy, the incoming guy who has not done anything yet, I will keep my remarks short, and it is still morning. Okay, a few thanks. Thanks in particular to those who traveled to get here. There's a guy in shorts down in the end who came from DC. You might say, what's a guy doing here in shorts? That's not really appropriate. But for Gary, a long sleeve shirt and closed toe shoes, that's the most dressed up I've ever seen him. So thanks, Gary, for making the trip, and to everybody else. Ambassador Glass, sir, what an honor to have you here. Ambassador and Mrs. Kia, Vice Governor Miyagi, General Arai, thank you so much for honoring us here with your presence. I look forward to your leadership and to serving alongside you. To all of the amazing partners here from the Japanese Air, Ground, and Maritime Self-Defense Force, it's an honor to have you here, and I look forward to serving with you. Thank you. Same with our allies and partners, General Rodan, General Kim, and everybody else. To our U.S. Joint Force teammates, to Vice Admiral Hannafin, Lieutenant General McFarland, Major General Lipson, Nuke, General Gallimore, really look forward to serving alongside you and continuing to build the most ready and combat credible force that this region has seen. To Jim Glenn, sir, thank you for the kind words. Thanks for your friendship, your mentorship, and your leadership over an awfully long time. Thanks for your trust and confidence in taking this job. To Roger and Carol Turner, wow. It is both a privilege and a challenge to follow the Turners everywhere we go. You can't, Emily, we've got some big shoes to fill. But thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for rolling out the red carpet and the welcome here. Thank you for getting us up on plane with starting to make the same relationships and connections and to understand the power of the positions that you hold. What an amazing example. Two amazing leaderships, an incredible team, and just amazing human beings. So thank you for your friendship, your leadership, and you're going to be my boss here in a month. Emily, thanks very much. Thank you for everything. We do have big shoes to fill, but I couldn't do this without you. I wouldn't want to do this without you, and I love you. To our family out in TV land, we love you. Thanks for tuning in for this. I'll finish by just a minute and a message to the III MEF team. It is absolutely the most capable and incredible crisis response force that the region has. Everything that we do will be focused on continuing to increase our warfighting readiness, strengthen our alliances, and deter our adversaries, while maintaining the trust of our neighbors, our allies, partners, and the U.S. Joint Force. You will get the very best that I have to give, and it's an honor to serve alongside you. Ladies and gentlemen, arigato gozaimasu. Semper Fidelis, thank you.
Traditionally, flowers are presented to the spouses for their continuous dedicated service to the Marine sailors and their families. In lieu of flowers, Lieutenant General Turner and Lieutenant General Watson are donating to the Neighborhood Community Food Pantry.
Force! Out! Carry. Colors.
Ready? Cut.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a tribute to our long legacy as the only permanently deployed Marine Force, Fight Now will be performed. This one-of-a-kind fanfare oddly depicts the heroic history and indomitable spirit of our warriors. Commissioned in 2021, Fight Now is dedicated to the Marines and sailors of III Marine Expeditionary Force, past and present. If you are one of us, please stand and be recognized. We request all others to stand for the playing of Anchors Away and the Marine Center.
皆様、唯一の超一戦闘展開海兵部隊としての長きにわたる誇りたらき伝統をたたえ、これより Fight Now が演奏されます。この曲は過去から現在に至る第3海兵機動展開部隊のすべての海兵隊員および海軍兵に捧げられたものです。我々の一員である皆様はどうぞご立ちくだき、その栄誉をお受けください。続いて、米国海軍艦怒りを上げて Anchors Way および海兵隊参加 Marine Hymn の演奏に際しましてはご起立をお願い申し上げます。
Sir, this concludes the ceremony. Carry out the point of the day. Aye, sir. Dismiss! Aye, sir! Dismiss! Dismiss!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of the Commanding General, Marine Expeditionary Force, N. Smith, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant.